MakingAScene.org brings you Trebel by Sesh, and the race to own the Superfan layer begins. Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. I am absolutely thrilled to guide you through this one today because we're tackling a massive shift happening right now in the music tech landscape. I mean, if you've ever felt like your streaming numbers are going up, but your bank account and your real, actual fan connections are staying exactly the same, well, you're absolutely not alone. So let's dive right in.
This explainer dives into the recent acquisition of Sesh by Trebel, and it really forces us to ask the most critical question facing independent artists today. When a platform helps build a fan relationship, who actually owns it? It sounds like a super simple question, right? But as MakingAScene.org so brilliantly points out, the answer literally determines whether you are building a sustainable, lifelong career or, just renting space on someone else's corporate server.
Okay, so here's a quick look at our agenda. We're going to cover the Trebel and Sesh deal, the limits of anonymous streaming, and the Superfan battleground. After that, we'll get into monetizing the fan journey, owning your fan data, and finally, look at an empowering solution to pull it all together.
All right, Section 1, the Trebel and Sesh deal.
So back on July 30th, 2026, the ad-supported music service Trebel announced they were acquiring Sesh. And honestly, the synergy here is incredibly powerful. On one side, you've got Trebel bringing this massive base of passive anonymous listeners, and on the flip side, Sesh provides the CRM, the customer relationship management tools. These tools are specifically built to turn those passive listeners into identified fans. We're talking about collecting emails, tracking locations, and even plugging artist membership cards right into a fan's mobile wallet. It's basically bringing the audience and the organization together under one single roof.
Moving right along to Section 2, the limits of anonymous streaming.
Now, while this merger sounds really promising, it also kind of shines a huge spotlight on a systemic problem. For years, the industry has just celebrated streams, totally avoiding the awkward reality that streams alone rarely, if ever, support a working musician. I mean, sure, a stream might introduce someone to your music, but it doesn't automatically pay to fix the tour van that just broke down. As MakingAScene.org highlights beautifully, quote, "An artist cannot send a ticket offer to a chart." Think about that for a second. Your streaming dashboard might proudly tell you that you've got thousands of listeners in Atlanta, Nashville, or Chicago. It might show you age ranges or total listening time. But numbers and bar graphs do not equal a relationship. You just can't invite a percentage point to join a VIP membership. You absolutely need a way to actually contact the human beings behind those numbers.
So we really need a mindset shift here. Streaming is a discovery door. It is not the entire house. It's an incredible tool for discovery, for sure. A playlist, an algorithm, a shared link, all of those crack the door open. But the real trouble begins when musicians mistake that front door for the entire house, and they completely fail to build an artist-owned destination inside. You don't want your fans just standing out on the porch forever, right? You want to invite them into your world where you can actually talk to them.
Which brings us to Section 3, the Superfan battleground.
Because of those major streaming limitations we just talked about, the whole industry is pivoting super rapidly. Everybody is racing to control what we now call the superfan layer. So let's define that clearly. The superfan layer is the part of the system where an anonymous listener becomes a known supporter and actually starts spending money directly or indirectly around the artist. And listen, this isn't just about those hardcore diehards who know like the uncomfortable details of your 2009 lineup changes. It's way broader than that. It's about identifying literally any listener who's willing to take a secondary action, whether that's joining an email list, buying a t-shirt, or chipping in on a crowdfunding campaign.
Next up, Section 4, monetizing the fan journey.
Once you finally identify these fans through a CRM like Sesh, the next logical question is, well, what do you do with them? Now, the goal here is absolutely not to immediately spam a new fan with 12 different sales pitches. No way. It's to naturally grow that relationship and turn their support into a long-term sustainable career. The fan journey usually flows in a few specific steps. Step 1 is discovery via a stream. Step 2 is offering some sort of value. Maybe you trade an unreleased acoustic track or some behind-the-scenes access just for an email address. And when the listener says yes to that, the relationship fundamentally changes. Now you can move to Step 3, which is targeted monetization. You've essentially opened the door to targeted location-based ticket offers and deeper support, rather than just yelling into the void of social media.
As MakingAScene.org beautifully outlines, having an identified fan base lets you leverage some really distinct monetization channels and do it efficiently. You've got merchandise for immediate revenue, which also turns fans into walking billboards. You've got memberships, which are amazing because they smooth out that feast or famine cycle with predictable recurring income. Direct sales are there to prove actual demand. VIP experiences, like soundcheck meet and greets, can bring in high-value revenue from smaller dedicated groups. And man, crowdfunding becomes infinitely easier when you're pitching to a community you actually know, rather than just begging the general internet. Having this structured data means you aren't sending generic sales pitches to the wrong people. Like a fan in Boston definitely does not need 6 reminders about your upcoming show in Phoenix.
All right, Section 5, owning your fan data.
Here is a really critical catch when it comes to tech services like this. Utilizing a platform's CRM is genuinely super helpful. It gives you incredible tools to segment and message your audience. But, and this is a big but, it does not automatically mean you actually own the relationship stored inside it. A dashboard is simply not the same as ownership. Tech companies absolutely love throwing around marketing phrases like own your data. But true ownership means having the practical, unrestricted ability to download, understand, and move your records. What if a service changes, gets acquired, kind of like Sesh did, raises its prices, or just closes down completely? Portability needs to be a standard feature, not some emergency escape plan where you have to do a ceremonial dance under a full moon just to get your own fans' data back.
So, what does real portable data actually look like? Well, the portable artist-owned CRM has to let you export your crucial fields in a common format, something like a CSV file. We're talking names, emails, locations, purchase history, and consent records. But you really need to pay special attention to unsubscribe records. If you switch platforms and accidentally re-import a fan who opted out 3 years ago, you instantly destroy trust, and you might even violate federal email rules. You need the complete working memory of that fan relationship, not just the static list of names. And that leads us to a really vital philosophy. Fan ownership is stewardship. Honestly, the phrase own your fan data can be a little dangerous if we forget that fans are actual human beings, right? They aren't just rows in a database. Fans voluntarily share their information for a specific, stated purpose. So your control over this data is a stewardship, one that's built on clear permission, trust, and honest communication. Basically, you manage the record, but the fan ultimately controls whether that relationship continues.
Finally, Section 6, the empowering solution.
So, how on earth do you navigate all this and actually protect your career? Well, you've got to build your exit door before you actually need it. The Making a Scene Artist ecosystem and Fan Passport offers a really powerful portable solution. This system basically acts as your artist-controlled central hub. It lets you use those discovery doors we talked about, like Trebel, Spotify, or social media, but it ensures all those roads lead right back to your own destination. It preserves your complete fan relationship history, including all those crucial purchases and consent records. Actually, it even utilizes practical Web3 technology to create portable credentials. That means a fan doesn't lose their rewards or their VIP status just because you decided to switch your email provider. It beautifully connects online discovery with real-world activity, securely maintaining your fan relationships, totally independent of any single platform's fate. By building this kind of independent foundation, your connection with your fans can survive literally any tech merger. Control the connection and you control your future. Think about it for a second. If your favorite streaming platform just completely disappeared tomorrow, how many of your fans could you actually still reach? Make sure you check out the other great articles and resources on makingascene.org, the place the indie artist goes to build the new music industry.